Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, dear traders. Welcome to ИнстаФорекс Economic News channel with us, Ekaterina Stikhina.
And Anna Kasatkina.
You're watching a weekly review of the currency and commodity markets for the last week.
How did events unfold on the Forex market?
The US dollar dropped against a basket of major currencies on Friday.
And what was the reason for the decline?
Weaker than expected US inflation data, which tempered expectations for a third interest rate hike by the Federal Reserve this year. The US consumer prices went up by 0.1% in July compared with the prior month, below the 0.2% increase expected by analysts. Consumer prices were up by 1.7% on a year-over-year basis. The euro advanced versus the greenback. The euro-dollar pair rallied to 1.1821. The euro was bolstered after Morgan Stanley raised its forecasts for the shared currency, predicting it would reach the 1.25 level against the dollar early next year. The inflation data was the latest in a series of weak reports that investors worry will make the Federal Reserve more cautious on plans to hike interest rates again this year. Futures traders are pricing in about a 35% chance of another rate increase by December. Versus the Japanese yen, the dollar was flat. The dollar-yen pair finished at 109.19 after falling to a 16-week low of 108.74 earlier. At the same time, the American dollar was slightly lower versus the Swiss franc, falling to 0.9616. The yen and franc recorded big weekly gains against the dollar, rising by 1.47% and 1.14% respectively. Tensions between the United States and North Korea drove traders into safe haven assets. Meanwhile, the pound sterling traded a bit high against the dollar, gaining 0.24% to 1.3008 late Friday after touching a three-week low of 1.2940 earlier. Against the euro, the pound closed the week around 10-month lows after hitting highs at 0.9119 earlier, the lowest level since October 2016. That was all I had to say about trends on the currency market. So what was new on the commodity market?
The crude oil futures finished higher Friday.
And went back to the rise.
Prices found some support after data showed that the number of active US oil rigs increased only slightly over the week. Prices, however, still closed with the weekly losses after reports of a climb in July OPEC crude production and as tensions tied to North Korea kept investors on edge. October Brent crude futures on London's ICE futures rallied to $52.10 a barrel, with the prices losing about 0.6% for the week. September West Texas Intermediate crude futures settled at $48.82 a barrel on the New York Mercantile Exchange. For the week, WTI lost 1.5%. The number of active US drilling rigs rose by 3 to 768 rigs last week, according to Baker Hughes. In the meantime, gold prices moved up to a two-month high on Friday, following a weaker than expected US inflation report. Gold futures for December delivery settled up by 0.38% at $1,295 an ounce on the COMEX diversion of the New York Mercantile Exchange. It was the highest close since June 6.
Thank you for the review of the commodity market. You've watched the weekly review of the currency and commodity markets prepared by ИнстаФорекс TV.
And presented to you by us, Anna Kasatkina
And Ekaterina Stikhina.
Good luck, see you later.
Bye.